Hi YouTube, my name is Shirley and I'm coming to you today from Adelaide, Australia. Let me get my finger out the way. As you can see, I'm sitting in my car, mainly because I can get some peace and quiet here and hopefully not be interrupted and actually get this completed for the umpteenth time. I had my vertical gastric sleeve surgery on April the 29th at the Flinders Medical Centre, which is a public hospital here in Adelaide. My surgeon was Dr. Bruce Chisholm, and I'm so grateful that he takes the time to work in a public hospital and that I was able to have that surgery through the public system, which did not cost me anything. The only thing I had to do was wait for a while between getting a recommendation for surgery from my local doctor and actually seeing the surgeon, which was probably about 18 months before I had an actual appointment. And then in total, it's probably just over 2 years till I had the surgery date. One of the downsides of having it at a public hospital was that my surgery was actually cancelled 3 times. The second time only hours before I was meant to go in and have the surgery, and that was quite upsetting at the time. And when I finally did get another date, I was probably more nervous about whether they were going to cancel that surgery right up until the time that I was being wheeled into the operating room, rather than actually having the surgery itself. I'm coming up to 8 weeks post-op, and I've ummed and ahed about making a video, but I've just decided to bite the bullet and go ahead and make one, and hopefully just by sharing my experiences it might be able to help somebody else who is looking at going through this surgery, or just even making the decision, or somebody that's had it done and just being able to relate to those who have gone through similar experiences. Prior to having my surgery, I did get on to YouTube and looked at many videos, and I'm so grateful to those people who have posted. Some I have subscribed to, for your input and your help and your kindness in sharing your experiences. It allayed many fears that I had and answered many questions, and I was so grateful for that. I've also enjoyed videos of those who have had their surgery and have been able to share their experience as well. Just to give you my stats, my highest weight was 153.2 kilos, which was 337 pounds, and I've come from probably years of yo-yo dieting. I've lost a lot before, put it back on, and probably more, and it just seems to be a pattern. But that was my highest recorded weight. I did go on to OptiFast 4 weeks. My surgeon wanted me to do it 4 weeks prior to surgery, and so the day of surgery I was 142.2 kilos, which is 312.8 pounds, and today I weighed in at 130 kilos, which is 286 pounds, making it a total loss of 23.2 kilos or 51 pounds. I'm really good with that. I have just noticed, though, going through some videos, people have lost more than that in the same amount of time that I have. But the fact that the scales continue to go down and I'm losing it at a steady rate, that's great, because I would rather do that and be doing it right and on a steady scale rather than rushing it too much and then having maybe complications that I might set myself up for. I guess I got to this point because I wanted to improve my health. My father has passed away coming up, 10 years ago. And he had diabetes, and he was diagnosed with diabetes in his 50s. And as I'm getting to that, I'm in my 50s now, I realised that I really needed to do something. I've always been blessed that besides my weight, I've always had good health, and I've never really let it bother me. I've been able to do what I've wanted to do. But I find that just over the last little while, as I've got older, there's a little bit of a question mark about how easy some things are. And, that little bit of difficulty creeping in. So I did make the decision that, yes, this is what I wanted to do, and good to go ahead with that, and to hopefully be able to live the rest of my life in a better frame of mind where health is concerned. I come from a family that is large. I have a twin sister, and we're probably on par. I have an older brother who has gone through a weight loss surgery. He did a gastric bypass, and unfortunately he has not been successful with that, and he has put his weight back on and even more. My children have also had to deal with weight issues now that they're all coming up into their adulthood. I'm happy to say that they have taken things on board themselves, and are doing fantastic, and are on their own journeys with their health, and they've got their weights under control. And in a way, that's been an inspiration to me to see them get to that point and to know that they can do that. And it really shames me in lots of ways that I've probably not been able to be a better example to them. But now it's my time, and being a mother, we take so much upon ourselves, and sometimes we just have to have that opportunity where we can say that I'm doing this for myself. Sorry about that. It just gets a little bit emotional at times. But anyway, so I've now started on my journey, and I'm taking it for what it is, and I'm going ahead with it, and it's interesting. It's an interesting journey so far. I'm very grateful that through my surgery I've had no complications. I've been very blessed. I spent 3 nights in hospital and came out on the morning of the 4th day. And things went extremely well. I was actually so surprised. I was expecting there to be not complications, but maybe a feeling of great pain. For me, I just felt uncomfortable. I was able to manage all that they asked me to do. I was up around walking that night. Was grateful to have a shower the next morning, and just progress from there. And I really haven't looked back. through the stages of just the fluids and the soft foods and the pureed foods. I wouldn't say it was easy. There were times where I was thinking, what am I going to have now? I know that for those of you that live in the States or in, I should say, North America, your food is different than ours, and so you have a much more wider variety of foods that you can select. But for us, it's just a matter of just a little bit of trial and error and looking and finding out what's available to us as a wider community. I ate a lot of soup, and I have a friend who is still making homemade soup for me, and I am quite over soup, but I was grateful for it at the time. Most things have gone down really, really well. I did go and see my dietitian last week. I haven't got to see the surgeon yet. I was meant to, and I had to go interstate, and then he's gone away, so I am visiting with him next week. What I really wanted from my dietitian was, and many of you have mentioned on your videos, or I've noticed that you have a set plan of how much, or I should say how many calories you're able to eat, and and the amounts of protein. I did talk to her about that, and basically what she said to me was just I was able to eat any foods now, a cup at a time, and just to make healthy choices. And I was a little bit surprised by that, because I would rather have a little bit of a set benchmark of what I needed to do each day, but I probably will discuss that with the surgeon when I see him next week. I'm probably just rambling on here now, but yeah, I wanted just to say how grateful I am for this opportunity that I have, and I really don't want to mess it up. I know that there will be struggles. One actual challenge that I had was the day I was to go on to solid foods. I flew interstate and was visiting my son, and that was a bit scary because I wasn't quite sure of how things were going to work out, and I knew that we would be eating out quite a bit, but I was surprised at how I was able to manage and just try to get protein in first and foremost and eat some softer foods, and I managed quite well. Even going to McDonald's or Hungry Jack's, which is Burger King over there, I just picked a grilled burger and just ate the protein, the meat, basically, and it was sufficient. It was enough. So I was pleased with that. Just some of the things on the plus side of non-scale victories. Obviously, the weight loss that I've had I've been able to go through my wardrobe and find some clothes that I have not been able to see for quite a few years. Getting back into those. And just even with flying interstate, I was so much better off and quite excited that I was comfortable and not taking up too much room. Yeah, those 51 pounds or 23.2 kilos ago, I would never have got on that plane and flown, but it was one thing that I did, and I was happy that I did it. Just having compliments from people to say, oh wow, we noticed that you're losing it, from my face up, my neck up I should say, is where people have noticed, and that's where I usually show that I lose it first. But it's nice, and I've told many people, but I've not told a lot of people what I've had done, but those that need to know. Not that I'm hiding it, but it's just something I haven't advertised, and if somebody will ask me what am I doing, I will tell them. Anyway, I'm just rambling on now, so I do want to leave off here, and for those of you that watch this, hopefully you're not too bored. Really, I'm just asking for some sort of support, and if you'd like to subscribe and leave a comment, that would be great. And until then, I will end for now, and hope everybody has a great week. See you then. Bye.